It's time for another video letter. This video letter is for the summer, because I think I missed June. Somewhere in there, everything got all mixed up. Sometime after Granny came. I remember my last letter. I was telling you about Granny coming and about her leaving. She didn't leave in an airplane. Do you remember what she left in? She left in a rental car. And then it was time for Grandma to go visit somebody. I visited an old friend and her daughter, Miss Janilji. She recently found out she was cured from a cancer. We had a wonderful time together. Then that weekend I had to decide what to do about going to Laji. I didn't want to go by myself, so I got some friends to go with me. Because Papa, well, he was in Belém with Granny. So, Pastor Maximo and his family, his wife Lidiane, and his children, Nehemias and Noemi, they went with me to Laji, and we had a really great time. I even took them to see the cave at Sumidouro. I've been there a lot this summer. 4 times, actually. Then Papa came back, and it was time to go back to the airport once again. We've had so many visitors over the summer. Guess who came after Granny? Do you know who these people are? If you guessed Isaac and Philip, you guessed right. You might not know Isaac, but I bet you know Philip Lane. Oh, I bet you do. And you might know Isaac too, because he played basketball with Philip at Community Baptist. And guess what they did in Laje and Sobradinho? If you guessed played basketball, you guessed right. Every time they played basketball somewhere, they also got to tell about Jesus. They were able to tell about their testimonies of how God saved them and how God brought them to new life in Jesus. It was really exciting to see Philip and Isaac tell about the Lord. They also got to go with us to all the different places where we do Bible clubs, and Gramma Michele told a story, and they had to learn some phrases in Portuguese to help in my story. Isaac was Pharaoh. He had to say, "Nem pensar," no, no, no. And Philip, he was Moses. He had to learn how to say, "Deixa meu povo sair." Do you know what that means? Well, ask your father. Maybe he can tell you. They had a good time, and weeks afterwards, people remembered what they had to say in Grandma's story. Philip and Isaac were very nice to all the boys and girls and made lots of friends. And no trip to Brazil is perfect without a visit to Alfonso and Casa Nova to eat some grilled goat with Uncle Tim. And before you know it, their time was up. They were only here for a week, and it was time to fly. And Grandma went to the airport one more time. After Isaac and Philip left, it was time for Papa, Vovô, and Gramma Michele to make a visit to a place called Madeira Cortada. It was the home place of a friend of ours named Erinaldo. The boys called him Tio Naldo. He was a pastor too. Chase and Mariah got to meet him when they came to Brazil. He passed away. This is his daddy and his mother. We got to visit with them and spend some time with his wife, Ivanete, and visit the farm where he had grown up. We got to see people that loved and cared for him. Bruno from Sobradinho went with us. And we spent 3 days visiting and talking about all the good times that we used to have there, and what a wonderful Christian man Tio Naldo had been. Our visit was kind of fast because it was time to pick up some people from the airport. Yes, the airport again. The only thing that saved us that crazy week was that they were late, and their week was crazier than ours. So we didn't meet them at the airport. The cat didn't care. She just didn't want anybody to leave again. She was getting kind of tired of all this coming and going. But since Uncle William, Aunt Carrie, Aunt Lori, and Uncle Andy's plane was later than expected, 2 different times they got delayed, we had to go to Laji without them. But later, they showed up. Oh, yes, they did. They showed up. And just in the nick of time. Oh, this is a story about time, isn't it? There they are. They made it to Laji to go with us to the 3 places that we go to in the afternoons. It was so great to have William and Carrie and Lori and Andy help us with our work that weekend. We were riding in the little sandrail, and Uncle William was in the big sandrail. Some people hadn't seen both of them together at the same time. That was kind of funny. But everywhere we went, people were happy to meet, and for some to see again, William and Carrie. Lori and Andy helped with everything, even in the marketplace when we had some evangelism on that Sunday morning. They got to go with us to Abreus 2 different times. Abreus is where we go on Tuesday. And of course, they made lots of friends. Lori and Carrie and I also got to have a little bit of girls' time in the big city of Petrolina. All in all, I think we had some really special days. But the days went by fast, and there was nothing we could do about it, because you just can't stop time. And it was time to go back to that airport again to see them head off. Gramma Michele tries not to cry at airports, but sometimes it's sad. It's just sad to see that plane take off with the people that you love. But then it was time for something else. Can you guess what it was? It was time to go to Subway. That's right. Vovo took me to Subway for an incredible lunch. I think he hoped it would help me not to cry. It helped a little bit, but not too much. Just a little. Do you know what helps me every day not to cry too much? Even though I live really far from you, do you know what helps me? Thinking about you, looking at your pictures, sending you messages, making crazy videos, writing letters, and let you know how much I love you. Don't forget, remember every day, Gramma Michele loves you. Eu amo vocês. Beijos.